Hello. Today we will be discussing a new concept which is called as list, and it is one of the inbuilt data types of Python. So what is list? So list is a collection of elements of same or different data types which are enclosed within square brackets. So it's a collection of elements with the same or different data types which will be enclosed in square brackets. So the properties of list are mutable and list are dynamic. So what exactly the mutable means? So I think you are aware of mutable as of now because we have discussed this thing in string as well. So if you modify the content of an element in the list, then it is known as mutable. And dynamic means if you alter the size of the list, so then it is known as dynamic. So these things we can have an examples in the functionalities. So list functions or methods is there, right? So we will be discussing there, and I will get back to the same slide and I will explain you what exactly happened with the content. So so if you look back the example, a is equal to 10, 20, 30 Ravi. So here we have a collection of elements with integers and strings. So hence it's a collection of elements of same or different data types which are enclosed with square brackets. So that's the definition of list. Now let's move on to list indexing. What exactly the indexing means is index represents the position of list element. So the same thing we have explained in string. So here we are dealing with list, but in the previous session we have dealt with the string. So indexing can be performed both in positive and negative way. In the positive, indexing starts from 0 to length of list minus 1. For example, if you consider this example A, so here 2, 4, 5. So totally there are 5 number of elements here, but the indexing will start from 0, hence the last indexer will be length of minus 1. So the length is 5, 5 minus 1 is 4. So since 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 has been followed in the positive indexing, and negative indexing can also be performed where the last element length of minus 1 will start with minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and so on. So this is an example of list indexing. So if so I will show you an example for you, so then you will come to know exactly the picture. We have did this example for string as well, so let us try with a list. I will open the code editor first. Python list. I will create indexing.py. So this is the file. So now let us look to the example, and we can try to add the same example into our code editor. So we will be aware with all the concepts. So it will be a bit easy for you to understand. 520 A is equal to list of 520 12.6 minus 67.1 Rama. So this is our list. If I print this, you will get the list. So this is the list which we are working on. 520 12.6 minus 67.1 Rama. Now let us proceed with indexing. So this is how the indexing concept is, and I will show you what exactly the position. For example, a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 3. In this way, I have picture in the table. I have clearly mentioned what's the indexing position for each individual element. Let's try to get those elements in the code editor itself. So now let us try for a of 2. I will just explain only few examples. I think now you are aware of print a of 2. If I print it, so my value is 12.6. The second here you could able to see the second position is 12.6. so the same output I have got here. So now let us check with a negative indexing. Let us check for -1. So A of -1. Now it's Rama. So in the table also the -1 is directing for Rama. So this is what the indexing means, and I think we have completed with an example where the positive indexing by taking both positive indexing and negative indexing examples. That's it. So now accessing and modifying list elements. So I have shown you accessing the list of elements. So that's what I have demonstrated here. And modifying list elements, we can have a look here. So I will just add a comment here. Modifying list elements. So in case of Rama, let us add Raju. A of -1. Sorry. So we are altering the values, right? So we can A of -1 is equal to, let me add as Raju. Now in the A of -1 position, in -1 position here, if you look back here in the -1 position, there is Rama, but I'm altering its value to Raju. Now if I print the new list, so instead of Rama I'm getting Raju, because since list is mutable, so this is the property I wanted to explain with an example now. So here, as I said before, lists are mutable, we can modify its elements. So that's what I have did here. Instead of Rama, I want to add as Raju. So the index position I have chosen is -1. So -1 is the index position of Rama. So I have modified it by using A of 4. Also you could able to modify Rama. So now let us take the positive indexing value A of 4. Instead of Raju, I want Rakesh. So now if I print it, now instead of Raju I'm getting Rakesh. So now you could able to access the elements using positive indexing and negative indexing, and even you could able to modify its element by taking its appropriate position either in positive indexing value or negative indexing value. So here A of instead of A of 1 is equal to 40, I have taken A of 4 is equal to Raju before, and I have changed it to Rakesh. In the first case I took A of -1 from Rama to Raju. So in the output I have clearly mentioned, as list is mutable, the content of the elements can be modified. So that's what it means. So that's the completion of indexing, accessing and modifying its element. So list slicing. We have come across this topic with the string slicing as well. So the concept remains the same, where you could able to get what exactly the string means is through where you should get the set or retrieve a range of elements from the list. So the syntax remains the same. New list underscore name is equal to list name, start, stops and step size. So starts represents the starting point of the data where you want to get or you want to retrieve a set of values, and the stop value will be ending point, or even you could able to include the range of elements. And one thing you need to note here is, for example, if you add 1 to 4, so then the last element is not included in the range of the elements. That's what the stop property makes sense. So here in the starting position you could able to add an element, like you could able to give an element, and at the stop position you could able to describe an element here. So at that point of time the last element will be ignored and it won't be considered into the range, but the first element will be considered into the range and the following data will be printed. I will explain you with an example. And the step size represents the step interval between the start and end. So what exactly means? By default it will be 1. So if you consider example 1 2 3 4, if you doesn't enter any of the step size, for example start to stop is 1 to like 0 to 5 you just enter, and if you didn't enter any step size, by default it will print all the values from 0 to 5. So the fifth element will be ignored. As I said, it will be not included in the range of the elements. Got it? And if you add step size as 2, the following data will be printed in such a way like it will be moving from stepping between two values. So this is the exact syntax description. If start and stop are not specified, then the slicing is done from 0 to nth minus 1 element. So if you for example, if you want to get an data of the list, so if you didn't mention any of the start or end value, if you just add only colon, then you will get the first element and the n minus 1 element. That's the brief introduction on this. So if you want, I can explain each and every one within proper values, and even start and stop can be done with the negative numbers. So as we discussed with negative indexing, so since list is also supports negative indexing, we can usually do the start and stop with the help of negative indexes in order to do the slicing operations on the list. So for example, in this case 5 20 12.6 minus 67.1 Rama, this is the example here, and if I want to get data from 1 to 4 with a step interval of 2, the first element will be included. So the answer will be 20 and minus 6.1. So there is a small correction here. I will execute it and I will make some changes on the slide. So before that, we can discuss with an syntax first, and we can go back to this example later. So let's take one general example. Okay, now let us check general example. I just use a variable a because it's very convenient for me. So 1 2 3 4 5. So just consider this is as example, right? So if I print this, just print it, that's it. If I just print it, I will get the list. So here now we can come from starting point. So as I said, so if you want to get the elements from 1 to 5, so what you need to do is print a from 0th element to 5th element. So if you print this, you will get all the elements from 1 to 4, because as I said before, the last element will not be included in the range of elements. So if I print this, so here you could able to understand the concept. So here what exactly happening is, so for example, if I want to print the elements from 0th position to last element, so it will print the elements from 0 to n minus 1, 0 1 2 3 4. So this is the elements. So why it's getting print 5 is, so till 1 2 3 4 5 it's why is printing is, so the syntax which I has given for the slicing is 0 to 5. So 0 to 5 means it will take the consideration from 0 to n minus 1. Since 5 minus 1 is 4, so it will print the elements from 0 to 4. So index value for 1 is 0, 2 is 1, 3 is 2, 4 is 3, for 5 is 4. Hence it's printing the correct syntax. But if you look back, sorry, just I will try to give it directly. So print C of 0 to 4, I'll just give, sorry, A of 4. So now you could able to Understand the concept exactly what happening, because the slicing will happen only for 0 to n minus 1. So here 4 minus 1 is 3. So 4 minus 1 is 3 means the elements will be printed for 0 to third position. So for first position it will be 0, and for second for value 2 the position will be 1, for value 3 the position will be 2, for value 4 the position will be 3. This how the exactly the slicing operation will works. So after this, if you want to get the elements by including its step size, so here the elements are included with the step size by default as 1. So if you want to print the step size, print the elements with a step size of 2 means, so 0 to 5 with the step size of 2. If I just print this, I'm getting an odd values. Here the first position, the 0th position will be 1, and the step interval I have given is 2. So hence it will be moved to the third position, because it will skip the first two values and it will move to the third position. That's what the step interval. It will be the interval between the starting and for start and end. So after third position it will skip for another two values, third and fourth. It will print a fifth element. In this way the operation will go on. So why it's printing fifth is, so the condition I have given is 0 to 5 is to 2. Like here the 5 minus 1 is 4, so the fourth position will be 5, hence the fifth element is also printing with an interval value of 2. This how exactly the slicing operation works. And now I think it's bit clear. If start and stop is not specified, we can have an check with this example as well. So I'm done with start, stop, and by adding some step size as 2, and every 3 examples has been completed. And if start stop is not specified, then slicing is done from 0 to n minus 1. We can proceed with this example as well. If I didn't mention any of the start or stop, so then if I just give like this and if I print it, so it will print all the elements from first to last. So it will take the elements from first position to n minus 1. Here n minus 1 is total 2, 3, 4, 5. So totally 5 elements are there. 5 minus 1 is 4. So the index value for 1 is 0, for 2 is 1, for 3 is 2, for 4 is 3, for 5 is 4. Hence all the elements will be printed off. So this is the completion of fourth point. If start and stop are not specified, then it will be slicing will be done from 0 to n minus 1 element. Okay, now let us take an example which I have mentioned here. So and we can do some operations here. So we can proceed with that. So in the indexing I have that example. Let me take that. So sys slicing, I will add that example here. So instead of a I will add AA. So in order to print a of minus 1, sorry, a of 1 to 4, which so it will print values. So a 1 to 4, 1 to 2, it will give values 20 minus 67.1. So here I said you right, I wanted to do some changes in this thing. Yeah, so AA of 1 is to 4, 1 is to 2. When I execute this, I will get an output as 20 minus 67.1. So this is the output which I wanted to get. So if I want to get the elements from minus 1 to minus 3, so now let us print the values from 12.6 to Rama. So we can use negative indexing now. So now we can make use of print A. So you want minus 3 to minus 1. If we print this, we will get an output as 3 to 4. So sorry, if I give an output as AA minus 3 to minus 1, if I run this, answer is minus 12.6 to minus 67.1. So here 12.6 minus 67.1. So the last index will be ignored. That's the operation. So hence only first two values will be printed off. This how exactly the list slicing works, and we have covered if start and stop is not specified also. The slicing can be done from 0 to n minus 1 element, and stop can be negative numbers. Even if you mention some negative values in the slicing operation, the operation can be performed. So this is how the slicing works. Now let us move back to list functions. Now let us discuss some list functions. Now let us start with list functions, and let me consider the same example which I have explained in the slide and try to perform all the operations. The first operation is sort function. So sort function is used to start the list in an ascending order, and the syntax is list name dot sort. Now here, when I have already created this example here, when I run this list, I'm getting the same output which I have been created, and it's exactly matching with an explanation slide as well. So now let us perform a sort operation. First I will add a sort first, then I will do a sort, and I will print it. So when I did this, I'm getting an output as sorted list, which is ascending order elements. So initially 5, 20, 30, 58, 4, 22, 45, 20 was there, but after using an sort function, it has been arranged into an ascending order. For better accuracy with the results, I will try to comment it out each and everything once I did the function, because it will be keep on messing up with other functions as well. So for good sake, I will be commenting out each and everything, and you could if you look back into the functions in the functions heading, you will get an exact code here, and then you can comment it out and you can take the functionalities and you can do the operation, or for your reference operation you can do. And the second one is reverse function. Reverse function is used to reverse the order of elements in the list. The syntax is list name dot reverse. So reverse function. Now I will use its syntax, and I will print it. So initially the elements are 5, 20, 30, 58, 4, 22, 45, 20, but when I reversed it, its value now has been changed to 20, 45, 22. So complete list has been reversed here. Okay. So this is the operations of reverse, so which will be reversing the order of elements in the list. Append function. Append function is used to add an element at the end of the existing list. Append. So I will try to comment it out. So append function. Now so for this thing, the syntax is list name dot append. Now I will print it. Print a dot append, or else instead of directly printing, for better understanding, I will just add the syntax first, and I will print it. Print append 33. So if I added, append is the operation which used to add the element to the list, and if I added 33, it will be added at the end of the list. So when I run this, now you could able to see element number 33 has been added for the existing list. So that's the operation of append. Now insert. Insert function is used to insert the element at the required position of the existing element. The syntax is list name dot insert and its position and the new element. For example, if you want to add an element 10 in the place of 20, its position is 1. the fifth element position is 0 and the 20th position is 1. So instead of 20 you need to add a 10 here, and you want to move 20 to the third position or second position. So these operations can be done with the help of insert function. So insert function, I will be writing each and every comment before executing the code. So for your understanding purpose, you just open that comment and just comment it out, and you could able to look back into the syntax and try to perform with your examples. So insert function. So in the insert function, so let me add a dot insert. So as I said, instead of 20 I want to add an element, right, at the 20th position. The syntax is position new element. So the first position and the value should be 10. Now if I print a, so you could able to understand here, in place of 20 I have added 10 and the 20 is moved to second position. So rest all the elements will be here. So why 33 is not available? Because I just commented out. So I don't want to mess up each and everything for all the functions. So I want to be unique. For one particular case I need to perform one particular function, then only it will be clear for you guys, or else it will be keep on messing. So for example, if I add 33, if I activated the function append, so it will be added 33 and the position will be again altered, and you can't able to configure what exactly the changes happen between the original list and the list which you are performing some functions. So that's why I'm just commenting out for your understanding purpose. You may understand this, and you can proceed with the other functions. So now let's move back to pop. Pop function is used to remove the last element of the list. So the syntax is list name dot pop. So for example, in the list, in our original list, so element 20 is at the last position. In order to remove that, we can use the pop function. So pop function. So pop print a. So if I run this, now you can see the element 20 has been removed, because pop function is used to remove the element from its last element, from its last element of the list. That's the end of pop. So even pop function with an index position can be performed. So what exactly this do is, it's remove the elements from its index position of the existing list. For example, if you want to remove elements 20 from this first position, you could able to make use of pop function with index value. So let me add it. Pop function with index value. A dot pop of, I need to remove the position 20. So if I print a, now you could able to see element 20 has been removed from the list, because by giving an index position 1, I just removed 20 from the element. So that's all. That's the operation of pop with index position. Now let us move on with remove function. Remove function. So remove function is used to remove the element from the list. For example, if you don't want to remove with respect to position, you could able to just target the element and you could able to remove it. In the previous example, we have removed the element with respect to index value. For example, I just removed the value 20 from the list by targeting its index value using pop function. But now you could able to remove it directly using an remove function. So for example, a dot remove. So let me go back to the example. I want to remove 58, so I can just directly target the element here, and if I print it, so if I print it, Now you could able to see the element 58 has been removed. So we have targeted directly, we have targeted the element directly and we have removed it. That's all. That's all the operation of remove. Count function. So count function is used to get the occurrence of the element in the list. So count, so there is an scenario. One thing you need to consider here, if there is an two numbers, for example, two set of occurrences there. Now 20 has been repeated twice. Now with the help of count function, we could able to get the occurrence of element 20 in the list. So now let us execute it. Count function a dot count of. Now if I give the element 20, I can get exactly how many times the count, how many times does element 20 has been repeated. I could able to easily get it. Oh sorry, here only I need to give print because I need to get the exact count of that element, right? So that's why. Yeah, now you could able to get the list because how already printing this every time in order to look back into the changes what I'm doing with respect to functions. So here in the output you could able to see 20 is the element which are occur twice in the list. So in order to get the count how many times it has been repeated, I just use an count function in order to get the its number of occurrence. So 20 is repeated twice, hence the output is 2. That's all with the count. Now let us move to extend function. Extend function is used to append the new list to the existing list. For example, if there is an one more list like b is equal to 6, 7 and 8. So consider this is a new list. This is our old list and this is our new list. So we want B list should be attached to A list. So it should be an one common list and you need to attach it. For that purpose, if you can make use of extend function. Extend function. So the syntax is old list dot extend new list. So old list is A dot extend and the new list is B. And if I print, if I print A, then if I click OK, now you could able to see 6, 7, 8 is my new list and it has been attached to my old list. 5, 20, 30, 58, 45, 20 is my old list, and with the help of extend function, I could able to integrate the new list with my old list. So that's the operation with extend function. So that's all. And now clear function. So clear function is used to clear all the elements from the list. For example, I will just show it demo. Clear function a dot, so the syntax is a dot clear. Now if I print a, you could able to see all the elements from the list has been cleared, because this is the print statement from this point of view. Here I'm giving print a, hence it's giving print, but by after using clear function, when I if I try to print the a again, so I'm getting an empty set because all the elements has been cleared. That's what the definition describes. So that's all. That is end of the list. Thank you.